Previously on AI the Somnium Files, Nirvana Initiative.
Hey, why are you talking to a statue?
Bionic Body Creation Program.
Instant death power stance, man.
Weird.
Why don't you feel around that area? How did you know there was a switch there?
You see, even she's embarrassed.
We can combine different brain functions of the left and right brains and create a new human with characteristics from both. What's going on?
Wow!
Left. Racer. Right. Archaeologist selected.
Guess it's time for love, Dr. Jones.
Okay, let's go.
Toma! Behind you!
Huh?
Oh, jeez.
It's me.
This guy.
Fisherman.
Did you get something?
This memory is no good either.
And time's out.
We're out of time.
So what about Maasai
Racer.
Warrior Chikara?
Left. NA. Right. 9 selected.
Oh!
That's 490.
Not best for 90. Yay, drugs! Recap over. Q transition. Okay, then. So, to explain in brief, Nizatlogs, that weird NAIX name that we saw earlier, that is a purported alleged secret society, kind of like the Illuminati, that was brought to our knowledge in one of the branching story paths of the first game. And that story path was proved to be not true or not canon because we played the actual canon route and they didn't exist. So I'm surprised that they do exist in this one. Does that mean that this is following one of the other timelines?
Welcome.
One of the other timelines of the first game? I don't know. I am just as confused as everyone else here is, okay?
I am the president of the Japanese Nizatlaws branch, Tokiko Shigure.
I apologize for visiting so late at night. I'm from the Metropolitan Police Department.
Mr. Ryuki, is it? Mamoru, my secretary, has already informed me. I hear you've come to ask about Jin Furue's murder.
Nikes. Yes, Nikes is in this game. They synced to Chikara earlier. Tama and I saw something in his Somnium. Someone who looked like they were in Nikes was making the Bands for a 90 video. And that's why we ended up here. We came to the president's office to talk to the top level of Nikes. Well then. Well freaking then. I did not expect to be in Nizatlogs, this damn place, but here we are. I thought I'd never hear this name again from the first game, but like I said, here we freaking are. Strange statue.
Why would they make something like this indoors?
Because rich people can do this, Tama. Rich people do whatever the hell they want with their money.
Who knows?
Strange ass lighting. It's a big window. It's a pond. More statues. Some lights.
That's the Nanyapul X, the symbol of Nize.
Non-upal means consisting of 9. You know how there's single, double, triple? Non-upal is the 9th.
So non-upal X means 9 X's?
Seems so.
Did you know that Nizatlaws is derived from 9-exed lozenge?
What?
Lozenge referring to a diamond shape. In other words, Nizatlaws means the 9 X's of the diamond.
But I mean, you can see the logo. There definitely appears to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 X's in there. Oh, we can wing sync with him immediately, huh? See something funny.
Something funny. There, I said it.
Yay! Your Tokiko secretary?
Yeah, but I'm also her bodyguard.
Okay.
I used to be a bodyguard for a certain politician until the end of last year.
Hey, wait a...
He was a piece of human garbage.
Okay, then, we've got even more callbacks to the first game. Cool. This guy, he was the bodyguard of Dosajima, the politician, basically one of the main antagonists of the first game. He used to be his bodyguard up until some stuff happened, which I won't get into because spoilers for the first game.
I slugged him in the face and resigned. Then ended up here thanks to an acquaintance introducing me.
Nice. About nice.
I was only hired recently. I don't know much about it, really.
Hey, wing sync. I like how we can do this already. Alright, buddy. Oh.
It was a heat of the moment thing, but I ended up quitting my job. I don't regret punching that scumbag, but What am I going to do now? I've got 10 children to think about.
10 children? Jeez, dude.
What? A job? With the conditions I requested? Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do anything, as long as it's not illegal.
He's earnest. That's nice. Something funny.
Your badge.
That's something phony.
What is this? A vaudeville routine? That wasn't funny at all.
Haha. How did you end up here?
I had a very hard time finding the place. After all, NISE is a secret organization hidden from the public.
That's a good thing Boss just happened to know someone who knew this location. Otherwise, we would have been out of luck.
Is it Iris? Is it Iris, Tama? Is it Iris?
Even after I got inside the building, it wasn't easy. The guards, the security gates. If I hadn't met Mamoru at the entrance, I probably wouldn't even have made it to this office.
I know about Abyss, and I know it's trustworthy. That's why I let you through to talk to the president.
Okay, doesn't tell me much, but sure. What are you doing around 6 a.m. on the 9th?
Judging by the way you asked that, I assume that's Jin's estimated time of death?
Yeah, about right.
Well, yes.
I was in Okinawa from the night of the 8th. I had a seminar to attend on the 9th and 10th.
Got plane tickets and an LOI to prove that?
I returned to Tokyo late last night.
So then last night was the 11th, 10th, I think.
I checked the logs for hotels and airports, for smartphone access points, and the security footage for each location. It's true that Tokiko was in Okinawa from the 8th to the 10th.
Okay, she's got a pretty solid alibi then.
So she has an alibi.
As long as you presume Jin's body wasn't brought back with her from Okinawa.
And that, yeah. About this video called Bats 490.
Considering the fact that you are here, I assume it would be pointless to hide it. Indeed. I had my subordinates create that video.
Dun dun dun!
Bats 490 was an ARG. Just a game.
Okay.
But there was a high-level encryption hiding a message within. We have been seeking high IQ individuals with the capability to decode it.
So what you're telling me is this is your stereotypical strange-ass company puts and starts putting out stuff with ARG shit like all over the place to seek out high IQ individuals that they will then recruit into the organization. Are you sure this game is set in like, you know, like I don't know, like 2021, 2020? Because that shtick seems a little bit, I don't know, tired.
The purpose was to recruit them into NISE.
See?
So this QR video was made for the same reason?
I am aware of that video. I saw it on the news. However, it's completely unrelated to NISE. I assume someone made it with the intent to imitate Bats 490.
What do you think, Tama?
Hard to say on that alone.
Wing sync. About Chikara.
Do you mean the man from Horodori Institute of Genetics?
Yes, I do actually.
So you do know him. I'm actually here because of a tip I got from him.
Chikara is under arrest?
No, he was just released earlier.
Held for questioning is what we would say.
We didn't have enough evidence to keep him detained.
I mean, he hasn't really been suspected of much either.
I see.
About your relationship with Chikara.
Chikara is a former member of NISE.
Ah, so that's why that guy showed up in the thing.
Though this was over 20 years ago.
So past stuff.
When he left us, he became an avid believer in the Order of Percent.
Excuse me, what?
Order of Percent?
It's an organization that split off from NISE. You could say they are a sect.
That's just fancy talk for it being a cult.
The Order of Percent is a religious sect, whereas we are an ideological society.
See what I mean about me saying there was a cult? I think it's the Order of Percent is a cult.
Despite our common roots, we are heading in completely different directions.
Then how did Chikara know that NISE created Bats 490?
Probably because he might have been the one that worked on it.
I wouldn't know about that. Perhaps he asked an acquaintance from NISE.
About this place, about your organization.
Anyway, I was surprised. I had heard of NISE, the secret organization, but I thought it was just an urban legend. I can't believe it actually exists.
Yes, there has been all sorts of gossip about us. Some claim we're a secret society of Satanists, or that we have something to do with a sequence of binary code that came from space. But that's all nonsense. Made-up stories that become more and more embellished as they were passed on.
But you're still a secret organization that is manipulating some form of government, right?
Rumors are quite a terrifying thing.
Yes, words are power. I practice that almost weekly.
NISE is a perfectly legitimate ideological society.
Perfectly legitimate secret ideological society.
Our headquarters are located in New York, with many branches in cities throughout the world. This is one such branch.
And I'm assuming you're probably the Japan president, I'm assuming.
This is a common misconception, but NICE is not a religious organization. We are a group of like-minded individuals who act together based on a certain understanding of the universe.
And that is?
The simulation theory. Have you heard of it?
The world is the Matrix.
That the world is an artificial simulation of reality created by someone or something.
AKA, we live in a video game. Guess what? We're playing it right now.
That's the theory.
You're saying everything in this world we're living in isn't real?
Yes. It's a false world constructed with specific rules by a program.
Like how everybody has to have unique and weird hair if they're like essential characters.
And if it is made by a program, there must by necessity be imperfections, edges, or seams.
You mean like some of the seams that I found in the polygons in some of these objects? So like the seams I can see in your hair and some parts of your dress?
To find these seams, or to create them, is our objective.
Why would you do that?
If you tear at the seams of a cloth, it will unravel, and a hole will be created. Thusly, we will tear at the seams of the program until it is unraveled, and its people are emancipated.
A second. Matrix reference.
That is our ultimate goal.
This old hack has completely lost it.
The intersection between the warp and weft. That's where the seam can occur.
I don't understand.
You will someday.
But not today.
It is a prophecy. It will be fulfilled eventually.
Fits that you have the striking purple hair. What
What is
the
that?
crap?
It's a hand sign we use.
Tenet reference.
It's meant to resemble the sign behind me. Are you perhaps a Freyer?
A what?
Freyer?
Frey. I thought I heard that somewhere before.
I am asking the person within you.
Oh, you mean me?
What?
I will ask you one more time. Are you a Freyer?
I don't know what you mean, but I will say yes.
Hey, Ryuki.
As I thought. Then you've realized this world is fictional.
Well, we are playing a video game.
Am I correct?
Maybe, maybe not. Let's answer yes and see what happens.
Ryuki, what's gotten into you?
We're playing the meta now, ladies and gents. We are playing the meta now.
Then please tell me the nil number. If you truly are a Freyer, you should know it.
The nil number. Shit. 1. Yep.
So, you don't know. In other words, you lied.
No good. She saw right through it.
Sooner or later, we will gain the information necessary to pass this, but I do this for the sake of completion.
I thought that I could get her to keep talking if I faked my way through it.
Way to go.
What is a nil number? What is a Freyer? Frey. Right. I remember now.
It was written on that sign.
Frey to free. Frey can mean fight, but it can also mean to wear out or tear.
Remember what Tokiko said. Their ultimate goal is to break down this world and emancipate its people.
Miss Shigure, are you sure NICE didn't make the QR video?
We did not.
But the word Frey was written on that sign in the QR code.
We of NICE are only involved in BATS 490, which we created half a year ago. We are not the ones who created the QR video.
So why are they including references to something that you guys believe in? Like, that's my question.
The word Frey being displayed on that sign must be a coincidence.
Either that, or it's being used by someone who used to be from your organization, or someone who's currently still in your organization that did the murder, maybe.
That can't be just a coincidence.
Oh, but it can. After all, we are living in nothing but a simulation, a false world created by a program.
Golly.
And such programs always have some glitches lurking under the surface. We call such glitches seams. Coincidences like this are a manifestation of such glitches. Proof of imperfection. Proof of the seams. The appearance of Jin's corpse is also likely to be an example of such phenomenon.
What?
Are you familiar with the Philadelphia experiment?
Oh, we're getting into some juicy stuff. I like this.
It's a top-secret military experiment that's said to have taken place in the American city of Philadelphia on October 28,
I remember
1943. A powerful electromagnetic wave was fired towards the USS Eldridge. a destroyer-class warship. Supposedly, the reason for doing this was to conceal the ship from showing up on radar. But as soon as the experiment began, something strange happened. The Eldridge was enshrouded in a greenish mist, then vanished.
Spooky.
Afterward, it appeared at a military port in Norfolk, nearly 200 miles away from the shipyard in Philadelphia.
And depending on the story that tells of the Philadelphia experiment, things have happened to the crew.
Sometime later, it reappeared in its original position again.
So you're saying it teleported?
Well, it's nothing but an urban legend. Just an occult story with low credibility.
A good occult story, though.
Yes, exactly. However, the story doesn't end there.
Are you going to tell me the version with like where the crew were fused into the walls of the ship? Is it going to be that version of Philadelphia experiment? Or is it going to be another version?
When the USS Eldridge returned to Philadelphia, there were several sailors on board, but some of them had melted like a rotten banana, while others ended up with their bodies entirely burned and blackened.
Yep. I guess that's much. That is the version we're telling.
Others were
There
said
we
to
go.
have merged with the steel hull,
Yep.
their bodies having become a piece of the ship.
Yep. I knew it. We are looking at that version. The most common version of the Philadelphia experiment story.
Does that sound familiar?
You mean Jin?
Suddenly, she's starting to make a bit more sense. Suddenly, I see. This is what I want to be. Suddenly, I see.
Are you saying his right half teleported here?
It isn't impossible, if a seam was torn, that is.
Impossible.
The web just goes deeper and deeper. Oh, this is an interesting looking park. Why are we here? It's a monolith.
You like this park, don't you, Ryuki?
I feel calm when I'm around nature. It's like I can feel the buzz inside me quieting down. Tama, what do you think about what Tokiko said earlier? Is something like teleportation really possible?
Hey, come on. I told you the Philadelphia experiment is just an urban legend.
But what if it wasn't? Hi, Vsauce. Michael here.
How else can you explain what happened with Jin? We can't deny that his right half suddenly appeared out of nowhere.
Jeez. Then why don't we find out for ourselves?
What do you mean? You want to go to the studio right now?
No need. Just close your eyes.
My eyes?
Just do it!
No, your nose. Of course your eyes, you idiot. Oh my god.
Okay.
Suddenly I see. Virtual recreation. VR, baby.
What the? Did we teleport here?
Are you serious?
We're in Studio Devita, aren't we?
It just seems that way. We're not actually there.
My lips hurt so much.
Last night, I scanned every nook and cranny of the scene.
Oh shit, I hit my mic.
What you're looking at now is what I replicated using that data.
Ah, so you photogrammetry this shit.
Wow. It's like I'm actually there.
You're in VR, Ryuki. The wonders of the future.
The corpse looks so real.
Want me to put a mosaic over it?
Uncensored is fine.
Now, less digressing and more investigating. Your objective is to solve the mystery behind the sudden appearance of Jin's right half.
Okay.
All right, let's start looking around.
Virtual reality activation. The VR allows you to walk around the scene and gather information. Tama's special vision mode, such as X-ray mode, can be applied to everything. By changing the special camera mode, what you can expect will change. Utilize this to find hidden information. Alright, okay, so now I can wander around as Ryuki. Oh, that's cool.
Maybe it's for having tea during breaks.
Okay, so let's, before we start using like all of these other modes.
Wow, I can switch to X-ray mode too.
Oh, those are a lot of...
That's because I've gathered all data from the scene.
Okay, so let's do normal, and let's look through everything first, because I saw, look at all those people outside. That's weird. Probably mannequins, but who knows. Got a lectern, the podium rather, the giant monitor.
The questions for the quiz also show up here too. Huh.
Okay, and then we got all these buzzers and seats. Ryuki wasn't this one. We've got this button, which I'm assuming is for the lights. Camera. Yeah, I've got this little monitor here.
Looks like it's there so the performers can check how they look on screen.
Yeah, got the
I
sign.
wonder how deep this sign is embedded.
what do we do at times like these?
Right, the X-ray.
Like I mentioned yesterday, Jin's estimated time of death is 6 o'clock on February 9th. Based on the time his corpse appeared, it should be about 40 hours ago. Rigor mortis seems to be fading already. It's not completely gone yet, but the body has somewhat softened at this point. It should take more time to get to this stage if it's been on a rooftop in the winter. That's why I think this corpse was kept indoors, someplace warm.
Corpse discovery situation. Rigor mortis was already fading and the body had somewhat softened by the time it was found, meaning it was stored somewhere warm without refrigeration so the body wouldn't, decompose. Anything else? What's this? Set as full of dazzling
These aren't
lights.
good for much other than for show.
All right. The only things you can examine with the X-ray mode are the sign and the... Oh!
The bottom part of the signboard is stuck pretty deep in there.
There's a bit of a curve at the tip. Kind of like a man's, you know what?
No. Tama. Bad.
Couldn't you have compared it to a fishhook or something?
Well, it won't come out easily.
It's an arrowhead, Tama.
Whoever stuck it in probably didn't want it pulled out.
No. Tama. Bad. Tama. Whoops. Tama. Bad. Stop it.
Of course not. A signboard would be useless unless it's standing.
It's useless unless it's standing?
Let's not go there.
No, that's not what I meant.
Huh? So the signboard was embedded in the corpse. Stabbed into it, basically.
What's this? There's something inside the body.
3 things catch my attention. First, a mixture of potassium chlorate, sulfur, and red phosphorus.
Bomb.
This is probably a fire starter. It would ignite very easily.
Distant fire starter.
The fuse is coiled up and extends from there. By the way, the fuse includes an oxidizing agent, so it can continue to burn even inside the body. And finally, at the end of the fuse is a powder mixture of iron oxide and aluminum.
Thermite.
This is a substance that causes a thermite reaction.
See?
When ignited, it creates heat of over 3,000 degrees Celsius and burns violently.
Okay, so inside the corpse, there was in fact a bomb. So the fuse was ignited. Oh, so we have now established that inside the corpse was essentially a giant firebomb. Although, if you guys checked the VOD yesterday of when the explosion actually happened, it went off more like a gasoline thing than a thermite reaction, because a thermite reaction would have just burned a hole through the floor. But we're not exactly thinking of like scientific accuracy, but so whatever. You see the back of the set? Yep, there's a lot of mannequins back there. What else can I inspect using this X-ray mode? What else?
What's this? Getting a better look at it, it looks like something tied to his waist. It's like a spider's thread. No, even thinner.
My analysis concludes that this is a CNT, or carbon nanotube, graphene sheets with a thickness of a single carbon atom.
Is a single carbon nanotube really feasibly usable and visible to the slightly sort of naked eyes? I mean, we have like cybernetics and stuff like that, but I mean, could you handle it with a hand?
These were rolled into a cylindrical shape to make these nanotubes. The diameter is about 0.4 nanometers.
Yeah, you definitely couldn't handle this with your bare hands.
A single nanometer is 1/1000th of 1 meter, so it's not visible to the naked eye.
So how did you see it with your naked eye again, Druki? Or was it Tama that was doing that for you?
What? But I can see it.
That's because this thread is made by bundling multiple CNTs.
Ah, I see.
I've also enhanced your vision so you'd be able to see it.
Oh, boo.
By the way, CNTs are extremely durable. They're elastic and hard to break, and it's said that their theoretical maximum tensile strength is 50 times that of steel.
Someone's been doing their research.
Anyway, where is the other end of the CNT connected?
I mean, it extends to the ceiling, so I would assume the ceiling somewhere? Yeah, one of the... Hey, wait a minute. Where's that going? The button? Oh, the lever?
That way. Over by that red lamp.
Huh, what is that over there? Oh, it's a light switch.
What's this?
It's the light switch.
The CNT is tied to it.
CNT extending from the corpse is threaded through the ceiling beam and tied to the light switch. Okay. Actually, or maybe the person that deposited, maybe it was strung up there on purpose, and so when someone pulled down the light switch, it disconnected it lowered the body or something? I don't know.
Okay, it looks like we're pretty much done investigating here.
Or maybe someone put the body there connected with that wire and was connected to the on-off switch for the lights, right? So maybe what if the person who turned on the lights inadvertently set off the trigger for the bomb.
Using the clues we've gathered so far, we should be able to solve the mystery.
You mean the mystery of how Jin's body appeared? That's what you're talking about, right?
Yep.
The truth reenactments will allow you to find the truth with the information you've gathered, answer Thomas' questions with the best answer, and only by correctly answering her questions will the truth be reenacted.
Let's get on that now. First thing, about that power outage when the body appeared.
Okay.
Was it really just a power outage?
No, definitely not. Somebody must have turned off the lights.
I was wondering about that too. The lights came back on way too quickly. Plus, if the power did go out, the stream should have cut out at the same time.
Exactly.
But the stream went on, no problem.
So it wasn't an outage. The lights were switched off.
So how did the lights get turned off?
Well, I think I know what did it.
The frickin' this thing, the light switch.
That's the switch that powers the lighting.
Yeah, let's not overthink this. Someone simply walked up and flipped this switch.
But no one was near the switch when the lights went out. Let's try to think of something else. An electric kettle?
Maybe if someone turned on this kettle while the studio was using its maximum amperage.
But the breaker didn't trip. There must be some other way.
Okay, not the kettle. The body? Oh, wait, no, that's
They were
just-
routed through the ceiling
Whoops, what did he
beams
say?
and onto the light switch.
There were bundled CNC ties to the body. They were routed through the ceiling beams onto the light switch. Okay.
But a dead body can't pull strings.
No, but it can fall. From the ceiling, I mean.
Now that you mention it, I thought I heard something hit the floor right after the lights went out.
The body fell from the ceiling and tugged on the CNT, which caused the light switch to turn off.
So on to the next question.
Okay, right. So something caused the body to fall from the ceiling, which made the light switch trip. Okay.
The corpse was hidden up in the ceiling, right? Then how did it fall?
Rigor mortis was already
Culprit
fading.
used the mechanism of the body softening after rigor mortis. The body must have been placed up in the ceiling like a bridge between two beams. It would stay up there while the body is still stiff. But as time passes and rigor mortis lessens, the corpse softens.
And that's what made it fall down.
Ah.
Now for the final question.
Oh, that's cool. So they actually use like proper medical, like you determine how far the rigor mortis starts to lessen, and then you use that as a mechanic to create a sort of like a murder inside a locked room kind of dealio. That is so cool, and it's also pretty scary. Yes.
Why did the body explode and burn?
Well, I mean the bomb.
Well, that can be explained by using the X-ray mode.
It's the bomb. Whoops.
It's because of the contraption set up inside the body. The ignition agent combusted from the impact of the body hitting the ground. The fire went up the coiled fuse and onto the substance that triggered a thermite reaction. The substance was eventually ignited, causing a huge explosion.
So that interval between the fall and explosion was because of the time it took for the fire to reach the end of the fuse. I get it. It was hard to find traces of that trick because it was such an analog method.
All right, I think we're starting to figure things out here. So you can turn off this VR space now.
No, not yet. That was just a rehearsal. We still have the main show.
What do you mean?
We're recreating the culprit's actions.
Are you telling me to do that?
You're the only actor here, aren't you?
Actor?
So, I'm Tama, the director and camera operator. Now that I'm in the director's chair, I'm not going to tolerate shoddy acting. So keep that in mind.
Oh dear.
Are we recording something?
Of course we are. We're testing a theory here, so we need to create something that can be viewed objectively.
I have no idea what you're going on about.
Shut your stupid mouth, you third-rate bit part actor!
Okay, whoa there. A bit harsh, aren't we now today, Tom?
Are you too much of a moron to figure this out without the director having to tell you everything?
Okay.
But
Just zip it and play the culprit. If we're doing this, we're going for the Academy Award.
Is that an award given out by McDonald's? I mean, I get not having the money to pay for the usage of like copyrighted names like 7-Eleven and Family Mart, but Academy Award? Seriously? I don't think Academy Award is actually copyrighted, is it? I don't know. The price of 20-piece nuggets meal. And now I want nuggets. I want nuggets, Janias. I hate you.
Academy? Like the nuts?
Enough! Let's get this started. Ready? Action!
Hi! I'm, the culprit who killed Jin. Now, prepare to witness An amazing show featuring this corpse.
Not only is your acting amateurish, but I don't even understand what kind of character you're trying to play here.
I am an amateur.
Well, this is just the beginning, so I'll give you a pass for now.
Oh, Tama.
Let's start with the positioning of the body. Where and how was it placed?
Up in the rafters.
It was right here. The body was placed so it was hung like a bridge between two beams.
You can place it like this because it was stiff from rigor mortis. So that's how they did the light trick.
Carbon nanotubes, CNT, were tied to the body. The CNT went up the beams and extended downward, onto the light switch.
CNT is too thin to be seen with the naked eye, so no one noticed it.
I've got it all set up. Now I just need to wait for the rigor mortis to subside.
Hey, aren't you supposed to be in character?
Oh dear.
Boy! I sure hope the corpse gets softer soon!
Oh, Ryuki, no. No. Ryuki. Bad.
It needs to be soft and squishy! Like an octopus!
Bad, Ryuki.
This scene makes no sense. I'm cutting it out.
You made me do it!
And after time passed, rigor mortis began to subside.
The body falls, and the impact sets off the ignition agent inside it. The fire travels up the fuse line.
Soon after, a staff member turns on the lights.
Bam! A body appears, as if it teleported in out of nowhere. Sometime later, the burning fuse inside the body reaches the explosives.
Yeah, thermite doesn't cause a...
That is the truth behind the corpse's sudden appearance and explosion!
Thermite doesn't do that. Thermite is a single focused point of fire, not a spreading puddle of fire like a Molotov cocktail.
Cut! Good work. I got some nice footage of the reenactment.
Yay!
I still don't understand why the acting was necessary.
It's a video game.
It all makes sense now. That corpse didn't teleport here after all.
Of course it didn't, though the culprit obviously wanted it to seem that way.
Half of a body just suddenly appearing out of nowhere. Just like the Philadelphia experiment. Someone went through all that trouble to make it look like something strange occurred.
I think they also wanted to draw as much attention as possible to that sign. All so they could spread that QR video.
So why did the culprit blow up the corpse?
Their goal was to make it seem like a supernatural phenomenon. That's why they couldn't leave the CNT on the scene.
Right, the thermite would have taken care of that. Right.
Because it would give away the trick?
Right.
So that's why they caused a thermite reaction and destroyed the CNT.
But aren't carbon nanotubes... Oh wait, no, so maybe they're resistant to tensile strength, but not for fire, I'm assuming. About the time the rigor mortis and the corpse would subside.
The culprit must have wanted the body to fall during the live stream, right? It would have been pointless otherwise. But could they really predict when rigor mortis would dissipate so accurately?
The culprit didn't put the corpse up on the ceiling beams while it was completely stiff. It had to have been after the body had started to soften, just slightly. That way, they could estimate that the body would fall in a few hours or so.
And the quiz show itself was supposed to be like, what, 6 hours long?
The stream was scheduled for a whole 6 hours.
There you go.
The culprit was fine as long as the body fell sometime during that period.
Okay, and about the reason the corpse's cross-section face downwards.
That body fell from the studio ceiling. If it fell sideways when it landed, the culprit's plans would have been ruined.
Yes, like you said, it would have been pointless unless the sign was standing erect.
It makes sense because I suppose the sign would have acted as some sort of like aerodynamic stabilizer to ensure that the corpse would have fallen like straight down.
Just like a man's you-know-what.
Oh, why? Why do you do this to me, Tama?
Again with that joke?
Yep, exactly my point, Ryuki.
Besides, it is not useless when it's not erect.
Someone with a shovel, just a writer, just digging this metaphorical hole deeper and deeper and deeper, and he's just digging a big old trench for themselves, and they enjoyed it.
Exactly.
What?
Huh?
There was another purpose to the sign. It's the same reason darts and rockets have tails.
Ow, blade.
I get it. The cut surface would naturally face the ground because of that sign.
Yeah, it's stabilized, basically.
It was meant to control the body's posture as it fell. So, to wrap it all up, the culprit's motive was to make this seem like a supernatural phenomenon and to spread the QR video, right?
I don't know if that's all there is to it, but probably.
I wonder why Jin was chosen.
Who knows?
Where could his left side be?
It hasn't been found yet. Anyway, starting our search with the people who might have the intel we need is the #1 rule of investigation, right?
Yep.
Like who?
Jin's right half was up in the studio ceiling the whole time we were shooting the show. There must be someone who knew about it, or at least noticed it.
You mean... the director, Jinpei Wagai.
Oh no, the boy.
Right.
Where is he now?
I've tracked him down using his smartphone GPS. He's in Akihabara right now.
Oh, typical.
At the maid cafe, Sunfish Pocket.
Even more typical.